Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the 2003-04 database made by the mad scientists. In today's episode, we've got a game against Man City. I'm going to show you how we've been doing since the last episode, and we're going to talk money. Alright guys, just a reminder, if you could hit that like button, that would be a massive favour to me, so I appreciate that. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. And what we're going to do is we're going to have a look now at the fixtures since the last game, which was the 4-1 away win to Wolves. Since then, we've been playing really good football. Obviously, we were on a great run before that. We played Birmingham, we beat them 4-0. Torsten Frings, Lescott with his first goal, Dumba and Henry. We then had Leverkusen in the Champions League where we beat them 1-0. Freddie Ljungberg with a late goal. That goal actually, that was our first game against Leverkusen, wasn't it? Yeah, so that goal actually sent us through to the next round. So in the previous episode, I did say that we would come back for the game against Benfica, but after 3 games, we'd already qualified, so there was no point. I'll show you the league table in the Champions League, but there's just no point playing that because it's we don't need to win. I can put out the reserves if I want, and we're still going to finish top. We then had Bolton 2-0. We won 2 late goals in that game. It was tough. It looked like we were going to draw that game. We weren't playing very well. We were just unlucky. We couldn't score. We couldn't really create anything. But then Freddie Ljungberg and Thierry Henry popped up and we won the game. We then had Crystal Palace in the Carabao Cup. Now I thought Carabao Cup doesn't matter. I'm gonna play some of my youngsters, rest some of my first team players. So some of the guys that haven't really played much this season, they came in. Torres obviously hasn't played because of Henry, so he's started and scored 2 goals. David came in, scored his first goal in like 15 games, I think it was. The way it's going with him, though, I think we're probably going to let him go maybe in January because, yeah, he's just not doing it for us anymore. I did like him as a player, but it's just not working. I'll show you the stats in a minute, but yeah, he's not been fantastic. So potentially he's going to move on. Perez came in, because obviously Dumba's in now, so Perez not been getting games. Bakasioglu, Fabregas and Kallstrom in the middle. Ian Hart, Tudor, Campbell and Hengbart. Campbell and Tudor haven't really played much recently because of injuries, so they came in. Obviously, Danny Ball signing. Hengbart came in and Lehman in goal as well. But then we screwed up. Now, obviously I said in the last episode to Maley that I wanted to beat his record of only conceded 7 goals in the whole season, and we've literally screwed that up in 1 game. We were 2-0 up, we were coasting. I think we got too comfortable because I sat back and was just like, yeah, we've got this. We've finally beaten Chelsea again because Chelsea are our bogey team, and then bang, 2 goals, Awerth and Samietu, very quick players. Maybe I should have countered that, maybe gone on defensive. But then the second half started, they made it 4-2. We managed to grab a goal back through Torres, but we just couldn't score. We were hitting the posts. We had, I think, 2 goals disallowed. It weren't our day. It weren't our day. So unfortunately, we've lost our first game of the season. And then we had Leverkusen again. Obviously, we were through. 2 sending-offs in that game, but a hat-trick from Thierry Henry finished it off, which brings us to today's televised game against Man City, who currently sit in 8th place. So I'm going to have a look at the competitions. As you can see from the league table, our form has still been superb. We've only lost the 1 game. We've won every other game. 11 wins out of 12. Scored 32. Conceded 6, which is disappointing, but I still think it's going to be a strong defensive season. Goal difference, 26 there. And if you have a look, surprisingly, our home record isn't as good because we lost that game. Away record, we're doing very well. We're top, 6 wins, conceded 2, 14 goals. And not bad considering the media thought we would come 4th in the league. I said I'll show you the Champions League table, and obviously you can see 4 wins out of 4, 12 points. None of the other teams have actually, I don't think I've seen this before, when 3 out of 4 of the teams in the league table have not won a game. They've all drawn with each other. So we're 9 points ahead with 2 games left. So we can throw it away. We can play our youth players, rest our players, going into next round, because we know we're going to finish top of that group. Now, who are the other teams that are potentially going through. Sociedad are ahead of Milan and Chelsea. Chelsea might be getting knocked out there. That's a shocker. Schalke. Liverpool are top of their group. They've won every single game. They're through. Paris Saint-Germain surprisingly bottom there. Real Madrid top, obviously won all their games. Valencia, Bayern Munich, Celtic obviously struggling. And Newcastle top of Group H. 2 wins, 2 draws. They got Juve, Dortmund and PSV. So they have got a tough group as well. But that is not over because obviously Juve are on 6 points. Dortmund are on 5. So it's very close in that table. Now I also wanted to show you the finances because unfortunately we look like we're going to fail the fair play in terms of player wage rises. And we'll go into that in more detail. So obviously FFP, this one doesn't matter because money-wise, we're not allowed to lose more than 15 million, but we're making nearly $500 million. So that's fine. But it's saying the club is set to fail regulations restrictions on yearly player wage expenditure. The board projects spending to be 17.3 million over that allowed. Failure to comply will result in one of the following. So if remaining in the same division, a points deduction of 5 points for the following season. So we might start next season with a 5-point deduction. If player wage increases above allowed limits, a fine of percentage of amount of spent will be imposed. So we might get a fine, we might get a points deduction. That would be interesting to see if we could win the league with a point deduction. But hopefully I'm going to try to reduce this. Obviously we're spending 17 million over. It's going to go considerably up when we bring in Aurelio. So potentially we're going to need to drop a few players. Make some sales just so we don't get this 5-point deduction, or stuff that we might even just do it just so we can get the 5-point deduction. It'll be interesting to see what happens. I've never actually failed FFP before in the game, so I can't comment on what will happen, but it's going to be interesting to find out. So here's our lineup for today's game against Man City. We've got Cech in goal, Hinkle on the right, Campbell and Tudor in the centre, Ian Hart left back, Torsten Frings and Kim Kallstrom in the middle. Patrick Vieira's got a slight little knock, so I don't want to risk him. Perez is in for Doomberg because he's looking a bit tired. Ljungberg on the right, and then Torres and Omri up front. Bergkamp is not fully fit, so that's why we've gone for the 2 advanced forwards. Let's see what it can do here today away at Man City. Now, quickly looking at the lineup for Man City, they've got a few ex-Arsenal players. Sebastian Frey in goal, Passanen right back, Squillaci, you know him guys, Iliano in the centre defence, Sylvain Distin left back, Errol Tager on the right, Rayner, Gareth Barry in the centre, Solari on the left, and then 2 ex-strikers in Kanu and Nicolas Anelka. And Nicolas Anelka has been on form this season, so we do need to watch out for him. And it's even though they're 8th in the league, it's going to be tough. And we'll quickly have a look at the league table. You can see they've won 6, drawn 4, lost 3. Goal difference is 17, but let's see what we do here. Torres going close early on in the game. Got a throw now on the 21st minute. Torsten Frings brings it forward, shoots and curls over. We're shooting from distance so far, but we're not really creating anything. Solari now with a throw, and Nelka heads it back to him. Whipped in. Tudor heads it clear, and Perez on the counter-attack now. Perez, good ball to Omri. Looking for Torres. Ljungberg's there. Ljungberg scores. Arsenal lead 1-0 after 25 minutes. And that was a devastating counter-attack. Perez picked up the ball, brought it forward, looked for Omri. It was a short pass. Omri just looked like he played it to no man's land. It was well past Torres. They thought the chance was over, but there was Ljungberg back in the sides. And he is on fire this season. I'm so glad we didn't sell him. Now we've got a corner. Whips it in. Sebastian Frey with the catch. Can Man City now hit on their own counter-attack? Looking for Anelka, who finds Kanu. Whips it across to Solari. Back in. Kanu off the bar. Ian Hart hacks it clear. Now Arsenal back on the counter-attack. Squillaci, you dirty bastard, with the foul. No booking for him though. We've got a throw. Just before half-time, Passanen picks up. Kallstrom wins it back. Looking for Frings. Hinkle, who's picked up a bit of a knock. Ian Hart whips in the box. Hack clear. Frings. Back to Hart. Back to Frings. Cuts inside. Kallstrom. Torres. Ljungberg again. What a strike. It's 10th for the season. And after this game, I will show you the stats of the players because we've got some superb stats. I don't know if you saw it on the home screen when we first started, but that is very much dominated by Thierry Henry, who is having a superb season this year. But what a goal there. Torsten Frings Good play. Torres, and that was definitely onside. Henry may be a little bit off, but he weren't interfering. And it looks like we're going at half-time with a 2-0 lead. And our away form is looking like it's going to carry on with another win. So Man City kick off the second half, looking to come back in the game. It's been quite close if you look at the stats. 7 shots for Man City, 9 shots to us. And they now have a chance, but Ljungberg wins the ball back. Torres brings it forward, looking for Henry. Henry cuts inside. Great run by Henry, but he can't get the cross in. Henry back to Hart, to Henry. Whips it across. Torres, Ljungberg looking for his hat-trick. And nearly went in there, but it's a corner instead. Ian Hart whips the ball in, head clear. Perez, his shot is deflected behind for another corner. And for a minute there, I thought Lehmann was going to come out. And that's one thing I forgot to do, which I always do in the Cups. Actually, I don't think I did. For a minute there, I thought I left Lehmann in rather than putting Cech in. But we'll have a look at that in a minute once this attack is finished. Great block again by Tudor. Long ball over top. Henry picks up, looks for Torres. Torres, Hinkle picks up. He's lost it though. He's struggling big time. We need to take off Hinkle. And Ortega is denied. And I was wrong, guys. Peter Cech with a double save there. No Lehmann in goal. Hat clear. Ljungberg picks it up. Arsenal on the attack again, looking for Torres, but it's wasted. But we are going to need to make a sub because Hinkle is struggling. Unfortunately, I've got no Hengbar on the bench. So Jolien Lescott will come in at right back. And I might even rest someone else. I might bring in Patrick Vieira for Torsten Frings. And I'm going to rest Henry as well. Swap them two around. He can be a deep line forward. Corner now. Hart whips it in. Kalshan hacked clear. Why didn't the defenders go for it? But Campbell heads it clear. Solari now. Off the post. Arsenal survive. Ljungberg keeps the ball in. Long ball over the top. Looking for Bergkamp, but he won't going to reach that. And I might need to go a bit defensive now for the last 18 minutes. I know FM Trequartista would never go defensive, but it's kind of my style. If you watched FM Wick, I am the defensive mastermind, apparently. Ljungberg hits the ball over, still looking for his hat-trick. And there's been a couple of scares in this game, but we do look comfortable. Last minute now, corner, whips it in. Perez, great shot by Perez, and it's just gone wide. Frey now with the goal kick. One back. I think that was Lescott. Ljungberg, Kallstrom, Bergkamp. Kallstrom, long ball over top. Bischoff heads it clear. Long ball by Bischoff, looking for Anelka. Campbell's there though, looks for Cech. Long ball. Can Torres get it? No, Squillaci does. Ortega loses ball to Ian Hart. Ian Hart on the attack now. Shots by Ian Hart. That was poor. That was poor. He really should have done better than that. He should have passed it, to be fair. And Kallstrom wins the ball back. And the final whistle's blown. We have won 2-0. Going back to the competition. We're now 7 points clear of Chelsea, but they have a game in hand. Same with Man United as well. So if they win their games in hand, we'll be 4 points ahead. Looking at player stats now, then we're going to start with goals scored. Thierry Henry, as you can see, superb. Remember, it's only the 7th of November. This man has got 19 goals so far for the season in 18 games. The next is Freddie Ljungberg with 10. Dumba's got 7. Torres has got 6. Obviously, he's not played as many games as the other guys. Torsten Frings with 3. The rest of the guys on 1. And David's obviously one of them, like I was saying before. I like him. He's a good player, but he's only rated 2-star. Potential 2.5. 26 years old now. We could probably get rid of him. And that would save, maybe about $1 million a year on wages, but we need to see what we do with that. Going to assists now, and Henry again leading the pack. 9 assists in 18 games. 5 assists for Ljungberg, 4 for Frings. He's having a good season so far. Ian Hart with 3, Hinkle with 3. Disappointed that he's going to be injured, but obviously we've got Hembart that can come in. Some decent stats there by the players, but another one I wanted to show you was the average rating, because despite Henry being so good, Danny Ball signing is number 1. I know he's only played 3 games, but a 7.97 rating for Cedric Hengbart so far this season. Got a lot of dribbles. Tackles, it's not been that great to be fair, 67% overall. But if you look, Carabao Cup, he's got a rating of 8.25. In the friendly, he was 8.21. The Champions League, 7.4. He's not actually played in the league yet, so obviously he will get his chance now that Hinkle has picked up a bit of a knock. But even still, the coaches now say he's surplus to requirements, and it's just crazy because he's playing so well. Non-competitive, 5 assists in 6 games in friendlies. So, yeah, it's crazy. But obviously, Omri leads way. Leighton Baines, surprisingly, as well. Obviously, while we're waiting for Aurelio to join, Leighton Baines has had a few games, 6 games, and he's got 2 assists. He's playing very well, so he's definitely one for the future. Even though it's only 2.5 star, it could be another Hengbart there. He definitely likes the way we've set up. 7.54 for Ljungberg. Ian Hart's even up there, 3 and 14. So very, very good start. All these players on 7s. There's very few under 7. Patrick Vieira is one of them, surprisingly, 6.88. I don't know if it's because I used to last season play him as a box-to-box midfielder, but this season I'm playing as a ball-winning midfielder. But although you look at these stats, his passing rate is 91%, tackles 94%, and obviously if you go to the competitions, Patrick Vieira is up there for the most tackles per game. Obviously we've got Peter Cech up there as well. Omri, goal scorer, he's 6 goals ahead of Werven, who scored 2 goals against us. Ljungberg's up there as well. So overall it's been a good start, and hopefully we can continue this win and run. Obviously, apart from the Chelsea blip, hopefully we can carry on the form, and hopefully we don't concede any more goals all season, so I beat Medi's record. But what game am I going to come back for now? You know what? Let's come back for this Leicester game in the Carabao Cup. I might even get in 2 games. We'll do the Leicester and the Villa game, just to get 2 games in. Obviously, I'll make sure the games are a bit shorter, but obviously Leicester, this will be a chance to see some of our fringe players, our young players, see what they can do, and then obviously Aston Villa in the league. Hopefully we'll be carrying on our good form. So yeah, we'll come back for those 2 games next, guys. Thank you for watching. Again, if you've liked the episode, then please hit that like button. It massively helps the channel. And if you're new around here as well, guys, and you haven't subscribed yet, then please hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with all the content. And I look forward to seeing you on Friday. Cheers, guys. Thank you very much.